guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to make a video I did not plan to make. The video I wanted to make today was about the Japanese World War II Takedown Type 2 Arasaka. This rifle was used by Japanese forces during the Second World War, and it had the unique capability for being a Mauser based action of being able to be disassembled. Now these are rare as it is. There's not very many of them in circulation. There was a Type 1, which I'd love to have, but this is a Type 2. You'll notice that the mum has been grotesquely ground off the receiver, but you kind of got to take them where you can find them when you're looking for paratrooper rifles like this one. But the guns are very fast to take apart and put together. You'll notice that there's just this little block cut right here on the bottom of the barrel, and then there's just this pin that goes across. So what happens is you slide the barrel, the bolt can be forward or rear, and you just push this pin in and turn this very coarse screw, a couple of revolutions, and the gun is ready then to be fired, properly head spaced and everything. Now, we came out and we always like to sight the rifles in, and we like to make sure that everything's going to go well for the day, to make sure that the guns are sighted in, everything's working. And 7.7 Japanese ammunition can be very hard to come by. So sometimes you have to buy junk ammunition, and this is a glowing example of junk ammunition. Sadly, this is made in my home state of Indiana, in Hobart, Indiana, and it's called Precision Cartridge Inc. Our local range stopped using it, as they tell me, because they used to use it as cheap range ammunition, but it had blown up or damaged so many guns, they quit carrying it and started carrying other products. But these guys are still in business, but they make obscure cartridges like the 7.7 Jap. I wish I could get my hands on PPU or some European brands or somebody other than this, but the only other company I know out there that makes it is Graf & Sons, and I've had good luck with their ammo. But anyway, this is ironically loaded in PPU brass. The head stamp says PPU 7.7. So I don't know what the story is there. I wish I could find PPU ammo. So here's what I want to show you. First of all, this video is going to be about something that a lot of guys that follow me on Instagram didn't know. The Japanese Arasaka, which this is the Type 99 Arasaka here. You've seen this here on the channel before. This one has its original everything. It has its original bipod, its original sling. The sling has the family name in silk on it. It has its original dust cover, has its anti-aircraft sights, and the monopod, all that good stuff. A lot of people didn't realize, and of course it has the unmolested mum here on the receiver. A lot of guys didn't know that the Arasaka is actually based on the German Mauser. It is, and that's what this video is going to be about, because I had so many people comment on Instagram that they didn't know that the Arasaka was a Mauser-based action, and they really had never heard of a Mauser that was a quick takedown gun. And then I brought out a World War II numbers matching K98 Mauser. You've seen it here on the channel before. It's a really good example of a World War II 8mm Mauser. So now the Japanese Mausers, what's interesting is that after the war, the United States government, some folks got together and they wanted to see just how tough these Arasakas were. The Mauser is a very strong action, but the Japanese steel, or the steel that the Japanese produced, was known for its high quality. So they tried to blow the guns up, and they couldn't. They tried every reasonable thing that they could to cause an overpressure situation that would cause the barrel to burst, the receiver to fail, something, but they could not get those Arasakas to fail. Now, is that truth or is that lore? I don't know, but I've read about that. So this video is going to go from a discussion about how the Arasaka is related to the Mauser action and how it's based on a Mauser with the dust cover and a few other changes, to a discussion about junk ammo and why you need to be careful when shooting ammunition in general, especially low budget, low quality type ammunition. You can see these spent cases here in this yellowish looking powder. We've been having a lot of failures this afternoon with the 7.7 Jap ammo from Precision Cartridge Inc. We've been having hang fires, and we've had squib loads that simply push, just go click, no bang, and the primer pushes the bullet into the barrel. And we're going to show you what that looks like. This is a PSA, or a public service announcement. All right, we've loaded up 5 rounds of the junk ammo. Jason, why don't you go ahead and stand back over here just in case this thing does grenade. I'd really hate to blow up a Type 2 Japanese rifle, but it could happen. Okay, so there was a hang fire. You heard a click and then a bang, kind of like a musket, but even a musket shouldn't do that. All right, here we go, one more. And now it just went click with no bang. Guys, you have to sit in this position for a while because you want to make sure that you don't have a hang fire, which we just had a moment ago, and that powder's still kind of burning in there before it finally goes bang and goes off, because now we're in a very unsafe situation. And that's what this video's become about. This is the new topic of the video. So I've left it pointed down range long enough where I feel safe to take it out of my shoulder. I'm still going to hold on to the gun just in case it does go off. I'm going to look away, I'm going to break the action and bring that case out. Okay, so now the case came out. There's powder in the case. This is what the powder is going to look like. I don't know if Jason can get focused on that. But what we're seeing is this yellow gunpowder that's globbing up together. It's a standard size grain. I'll get a picture of it. It's a standard size grain. It looks like the black powder, but it's yellow. And the powder simply isn't burning. It is just putting the, when the primer goes off, it's just got enough oomph to push that bullet into the barrel. Now we do have the rounds in the magazine here, which, I'm gonna pop them out here one by one. Play it safe. Come on, you little stinker, get out of there. Can't really chamber it because then we will. There we go. Come on, buddy. There we go. All right. Now we've made the weapon safe. There is no case in it. The gunpowder, you're going to see some of it fall out probably there. And now we're going to keep the muzzle pointed away from my face. I'm going to take a Dewey cleaning rod, put it down inside, and then watch what happens right here. I'm just going to tap it gently. Generally, see that big glob of gunpowder fall out? I'm going to tap it gently one more time. Again, I'm just letting the weight of the rod fall, and there we go. We pushed the bullet out. There's the bullet. All right. So that is what a hang fire is, and that is what a squib load is. Now, sometimes a squib load will be, instead of the powder being completely inert, which is what's happening with this ammunition, the powder simply isn't burning. And what happens is that primer has enough pressure to actually start this bullet into the lands and grooves, and it gets stuck in the barrel. Now, if you get a little bit of powder burn behind that primer, you can push that bullet further down the barrel. You always have to pay attention. If a round doesn't sound right when it goes off, if you hear bang, 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 boom, bang, bang, well, you won't hear bang, bang, but if you hear bang, 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 boom, stop shooting, because there is a good chance if the tone of that gunfire changed significantly, you may have had a squib load. And if you put another round in the chamber, chances are an automatic rifle wouldn't fire. A bolt action, it wouldn't cycle, I should say, on an automatic. It wouldn't have enough gas pressure to cycle the action. So don't just charge another round and fire, because there's a very good likelihood there's a bullet stuck in the barrel. In the case of a bolt action, if I were to hear boom, boom, boink, and it had just enough powder burn to get that bullet started down the barrel, and I don't stop and check the barrel, and I chamber another round, I pull the trigger, I'm going to blow the action of the gun up, I'm going to burst the barrel, but something's going to give. It's going to destroy the rifle in one way or the other, or it's going to damage it very seriously. It may not destroy it, but it will cause serious damage, and it can also cause shooter damage, which is one reason why you should always wear eye protection. And I know I'm guilty of not doing that when I'm shooting with scopes. But there you go, guys. That's what this video became about. That's unfortunate. I really wanted to show you guys maybe another video. I'm going to try to get a hold of some quality 7.7 Jap ammo so I could talk about the Type 2 here and talk about the heritage between it and its German counterpart. Now with our German counterpart, let's just go ahead and load her up. We have some high quality ammunition PPU. This is actually really good stuff. Now that's what's weird about that Precision Cartridge stuff, is it's actually PPU brass, which lends me to believe that at some point PPU is made 7.7 Jap. I just can't find it anywhere. But PPU makes very good ammunition. And you'll notice this loads just like the Arasaka. That's because the Arasaka is a modified Mauser. Now this little sweetheart goes bang every time, but you know, that's just because it's a great rifle shooting some very good quality ammunition. All right, so let's do a little bit of shooting with the K98, which the Arasaka, both the Takedown model and the standard 99 are based on. The action is very smooth on the K98. You'll notice that on the Arasakas you have a dust cover. Many times this will be missing, but this causes additional drag. And the bolt on these hangs up just a little bit more. It's not as smooth as a standard K98 or 98 action is. All right, your safety's right here. That's safe, that's fire. On the Arasaka, it's a little bit different. You have this little knurled knob here to put it on safe. I just palm it and turn it, and that puts it on safe. And then you palm it and turn it, and that puts it on fire, and that notch tells you which position the gun's in. All right, let's see what my little K98 can do here. See if we can hit Mr. Steel Target. Now watch, the PPU ammunition will blow up my Mauser. Oh, what a sweet shooting rifle. The actions on these things are so smooth. Recoil's a little bit brisk. I will say that I enjoy shooting the K98 just a little bit more, again, because it's smooth. Now you can't take the dust cover off the Arasakas. It's very easy to do. And but you'll notice, for example, look how the Mauser disassembles. The Mauser has this little lever right here. You pull that lever out. Let me put the muzzle of the weapon down here. You pull this lever out and pull the bolt back, and it releases the bolt from the action. You have that same lever on the Arasaka. I pull out on this lever, and I pull back on the bolt, and the bolt comes out of the gun. Now you can see that the heritage. Now you can actually take this dust cover off, and you don't need it for the gun to operate. You can put the gun back together and fire it without that dust cover. As a matter of fact, a lot of the guns that people will have in their collections will be missing this original top cover. There are companies that make reproductions, so when you're buying one, you just have to know what you're looking for. You'll see a fine patina on this, and it matches the rest of the patina on this gun. And this gun has all of its other original parts. And I also have the letter of providence on this one. I know the soldier that captured it. He wrote his story. He was a U.S. Army soldier. His name was Eugene Starr, and he brought this rifle home with him. So the two guns, as you can see, are clearly related to each other, especially if I leave that dust cover off. One thing I think would be kind of fun to do would be to compare the K98 to the Arasaka with its dust cover on, and do a gauntlet test where we throw them in the mud, we throw them in the sand, and see if this dust cover actually makes the already reliable action of the Mauser any more reliable. That'd be kind of a fun video to do. Maybe we'll have to do that. I just hate beating up on my guns like that. Putting the Arasaka back together with its dust cover can be a little bit challenging. You have very, very fine grooves that run along the receiver on both sides. And so you not only have to line the bolt up and get it started, pull the... And all the Arisaka collectors out there are going to be saying, oh man, you're doing it wrong. This is how you got to do it. Get things started, line up the dust cover. think I actually got it on the first try. I did. All right, so there you go. They have a last round hold, just like on the bolt of the K98. Now the K98, on the other hand, is very easy to take apart and put back together, because you can actually see what you're doing. That dust cover for me on the Arasaka makes it really hard to do, and I fumble around. But you do have to notice, and I didn't see it because of the dust cover, that the extractor was turned. You can turn the extractor on the K98, so you want to make sure that it's all the way over to that side before you attempt to put the bolt back in, and then everything goes back together smoothly. So me personally, I don't like the top cover or the dust cover on the Arasaka, but when it's closed, it does make for a very sealed up action. It'd be very hard to get any type of debris into that area. And a lot of the Allies, for example, the Brits, with the Enfields, they had canvas covers that they would put over their actions to keep sand and debris out of them until they needed them. And so keeping the bolt clear of debris is still a thing. Even though it's bolt action operated, manually operated, these things can malfunction if they get dirty enough. It's not just semi-automatics that fail. All right, guys, we'll make another video here. We'll talk about the Type 2 Arasaka, the Paratrooper model. We'll talk more about the K98 and the other rifle when we can actually get some ammunition that works. Hopefully, I think Graf & Sons just got a shipment in, and I'm going to be able to pick up some 7.7 from them, and then we'll actually be able to come out and shoot these rifles side by side. I'll show you that this gun does in fact return to zero when you take the barrel off and put it back on. It's just I'm not going to be able to do it today, but I did want to show you because of all the problems we were having. These are all the spent cases from the 7.7 we fired this afternoon. I did want to show you guys what happens with a hang fire and with a squib round, because we thought it was a unique opportunity to do that given what we were having happen to us this afternoon. Guys, if you'd like to continue to see videos like this and you would like to support the Military Arms channel, YouTube has completely demonetized us for the most part. Our revenue is down 60, 70, 80%. Some guys are reporting as much as 90%. The best way to support us here at the channel right now is to become a patron supporter. Over on Patreon, we post behind the scenes information. We give away $300 in free ammunition. Actually, we don't. Our friends over at Freedom Munitions do. They give away $300 worth of ammunition. 3 lucky winners win $100 worth of ammo. Our friends over at Forged from Freedom, who do our shirts. Does it take Glock mags? In this case, no, it doesn't. This is from our friends over at Forged from Freedom. They host the Mac store. We have a Mac collection of t-shirts. We give away 5 t-shirts. You choose whichever t-shirt you want, and we have a whole bunch of them. And we give away 5 of them to our Patreons. And we also answer all private messages that you may send to us. It may take us a little while. We have quite a few Patreons, thanks to those guys that have signed up. But we will get to your questions, and we will get you answers. But don't just support us. Support other content creators, because they're all struggling on YouTube. It's not just gun channels. It's knife channels, airsoft channels, all sorts of channels, makeup channels, gaming channels. If they're over on Patreon, please consider supporting them as well if you watch their content, if you watch their videos. Also, please swing by and check out Copper Custom. It's our online store. You can find us at coppercustom.com. I'd love to sign off by shooting one of these rifles this afternoon, but I'm down to half a box of 8mm, and I don't dare shoot any more of the 7.7. Guys, be safe, and we'll see you on the range again here soon.